Yeah, the popularity and your popular, how many people follow you and all those things, right?
Yep.
That depends. That's gonna depend. That's gonna, dictate your pay, right?
Yep.
How much money you make.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta be a needle pusher, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Man, one of the things I've always appreciated about you is your support. Of course, you being Armenian, but all the Armenian fighters from boxing to MMA. You had mentioned to me about the Manny Gamborian. We were like looking at dates and stuff when that was.
Yeah.
Like Edmund cornered me back. Yeah, I think it was before that, right? So
Yeah.
like 2007.
When you fought Roger Huerta.
Yeah. So it was,
I remember I was your throwing dummy for that fight. Like you're walking into the gym, you're doing mitts, and then you're like, man, I really, after I hit mitts or whatever, I need to work on my grappling. I'm like, and I'm the only one there. You guys are both staring at me. I'm like, what do you guys want? They're like, oh, can Alberto, do some grappling with you? I'm like, sure, I hate grappling, but no problem. If Alberto's got a fight coming up, I'll be that guy.
Yeah,
I remember we literally went around the tatami with you just tossing around my head like, pop, pop, pop.
Didn't take downs and
Oh,
stuff.
jeez. Okay, like, am I getting paid for this, or am I, But yeah, that was over the, that was the first time I ever actually met you, because I walked into the gym. You were in Edinburgh working. It was like, oh, meet Alberto. He's from New Mexico. He's going to be fighting in the UFC. He's like, we're helping him get ready. I'm like, hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And 10 minutes later, you're literally tossing me around the tatami.
Yeah, you guys. I appreciate both of you guys. You guys. Yeah, and did like always. I got to see how much work, how many Armenian fighters you guys were helping, like different, boxing, MMA. Later on, MMA. At the beginning it was just striking, right? Because you guys weren't so involved yet. So yeah, it was really cool to see those early days,
Yeah.
and it already had been a lot of years. Or now it's a lot of years, right? But back then it was already like a lot of years.
No, it is.
You guys have been dedicated to the fight game.
Yeah, no, it's been a hell of a ride. Like when you look at it, when you kind of like go back 15, 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
Back then we didn't have that many gyms. Right now, honestly, like I was telling my friend, I'm like, man, like I think the MMA boxing gyms are becoming the new weed shops for Armenians. Like every 10 blocks there is a new gym.
Yeah.
But back then you had Gokor, who was I think he's in the Armenian community,
right?
He's I think he would be a legend.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he goes back to like when I was living in Hollywood, so it's like 25, 30 years of look at all the people he's been working with. He's worked with they fly him out.
His lineage,
and they fly him out everywhere to do seminars. If through time, I've noticed that a lot of people that had some sort of a name kind of died out, but Gokor's name is the one thing that has always kind of stayed up there, and I think that's because he stays so active. Like Gokor is like I think the roughest person I ever met. Like you'll shake his hand, the simplest handshake. Your hand is bruised for a couple of weeks, and that's a really nice gentle handshake for him. But back then you had
still a beast.
Yeah, you had Gokor, and again for striking for his when you look at it age wise, right? Like Edmund started his gym at the age of 18,
right?
But look at where he got to in that short of a period. Like headlining UFC events, head coach to probably one of the biggest stars the UFC ever had.
With Ronda Rousey, yeah.
Like for a moment there, I remember when Ronda was in the gym. Like he hit me up. He's like, "Man, can you come to the gym?" I was like, "Can you try to figure out a schedule for me?" I'm like, "Why?" He's like Lake Weed is coming at the gym. Travis Brown's there. 170. Jake Ellenberger's there. The Four Horsewomen are there. Jared was training with us. Brandon Vera's there. He's like, I can't figure it out, like how to give. So I was like,
attention,
okay, I had to sit down and kind of like, all right, this is your schedule for this and that and that. I'm like, you could probably see your kids for 17 seconds between 4 and 4:01, and then you could go sleep for but like the gym just blew up, and again, it just didn't blow up because of Ronda. And I think like a lot of people were noticing that like Edmund's passion and love for the sport, and just especially with the striking, like when he coaches, like he's like he doesn't just coach you, like he kind of like gets into your like you could see the focus that he gets, so. And again, you had Gokor doing the grappling. Edmund's striking was like just elevating to another level. You know, we had a lot of good guys come through the GFCs. You know, like our boxers. You know, they perform. You know, like got to all the way to third or fourth ranked in WBA and the IBF. You know, fought multiple times on Showbox and ESPN. So a lot of that took a lot of work and a lot of time. That me and Edmund took away from our families.
For sure.
I
Dedication.
think and
you have to respect. People have to respect that. They forget, or
people forget.
Yeah.
People forget the good things and always remember the one. It's not even a bad thing. Like they try to find the blemish.
Yeah.
You don't have to have the blemish on you. People will just tag you with it, and one rumor spreads, and then just all of a sudden, like people think that you're just this horrible person because they started that rumor about you. But let's go back and remember all the good things about it. I guarantee you in 10 seconds, you'll be feeling like you're the biggest piece of shit in the world.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Well, thank you, bro. Thank you for all you've done for so many fighters, right? And people, and as well as the Armenian fighters. It's been amazing to see it and be a part of it. You've helped me as well over the years. I always try to watch out, continuing to this day, right? With our fighters and the guys that we have coming from the gym. I'm not so involved with the MMA scene, but it's I know how you take care and do it right, help them out. So really excited to see with up next, where it keeps going, growing, and just great to see you, and always great to see you, and I always love talking to you, and so I appreciate you coming on the show.
I appreciate you having me. It's been a long time coming, but we finally did it.
We had Gokar, we had all the guys. We had to get Edmund, right?
Yeah.
Talk to Edmund, hopefully.
Let's give him a call. Let's get him on here next week.
Yeah, awesome.
Edmund's got a lot of good stories, too.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
How can people find you?
I'm on Instagram at Mr. Lights Out 21.